Well, this is a bit different. I've just got a package there that I just wanted to show you. My son Toby's always watching these videos of people opening stuff and computer things and everything, but this is something that I don't think an everyday thing that people open up. This is pretty unique for me anyway, so I thought I'd just share it with you. So I've already opened up the end of the box and I had to resist taking it all out, but I've got from Daryl at the Historic Arms Gallery. I've got here something that's very, very interesting. Something I've always had a bit of a fascination with, and it's in a lovely oak box, possibly original, not quite sure. It doesn't have a label on the inside from what I saw on the pictures when Daryl had it on his website, but there we go. The escutcheon there is unmarked. That's the front of the box. I think there's a key, I'm not sure yet, but let's get rid of this packaging. Just throw that over there like this, push that over there, and let's open this up. And what would we have in here? Very interesting. We got here some good old-fashioned turn screws. Not screwdrivers, turn screws, proper name for them. Usually made of spring steel. These are some sort of ebonite handle with a brass ferrule on there. We've got one of those. We got cleaning rod. Again, nice polished wood. Probably, well, I'm not sure. It's very grained, so it could be walnut. You've got a cleaning rod. And we got bullet mold, double bullet mold. So what's in this? So we can see there's a bit of a pistol grip there, but look, I've got a ball and bullet shaped. Very interesting. What is this? We're thinking. So we've got a bullet mold. We've got here. What else have we got? Another. Oh no. Nipple wrench. Now that's getting a bit more like what a nipple wrench, cleaning rod, turn screws, bullet mold. So there must be some sort of nipples. Must say percussion caps. So it must be some sort of muzzle loader. We got here a flask, powder flask, all brass. Lovely powder flask. Can't see what. Can't read that myself. My eyes aren't good enough. Should put my glasses on when I'm doing this, but we'll look at that later. We got here a pouch, original leather pouch. Ely's metal lined. Bullets. There is definitely a pistol. It looks like we've got the end of a pistol grip there. And we got here as well a small oiler. I don't know what that's made from. Pewter maybe. Small oiler. Dip, dab, dab. Oil the firearm, because it must be a firearm. And then we've got here container for percussion caps, it looks like. Yes. Look at that. Joyce, London, England, metal lined percussion caps. Number 28. And then what do we have here at the end? We've got here this nice green baize lined oak case. We have here a revolver. Not just any old revolver. This is a 1859 Kerr's patent revolver. With this side lock on the side, 5-shot percussion muzzle loading revolver. Kerr's patent. We've got there, I don't know if that's zooming in, I can't really see because my setup's not great here. That's London Armory, Bermondsey, the factory at Bermondsey, which I think was set up in 1851, I think, with Adams and Dean and Kerr. And Kerr, when Adams left and took his revolver patterns with him, his double action revolver patterns, came up with this. Well, sorry about that. That's typical of me in technology. I ran out of data because I'm doing this on my phone, so I'm trying to do this. Anyway, getting back to it. Yeah, Kerr was, I believe, Adams's cousin, and when they both left the Dean brothers, I think it was in 1856, and set up the London Army Company, and they produced revolvers and rifles there, muskets based on the 1853 pattern. And but then when they changed and decided to concentrate solely on long arms, Adams left with all his patents, and Kerr developed this revolver. Quite a clever idea, using a typical back lock. So the spring is back here and the hammer is forward, so that's called a back lock. You'd have on a shotgun or a musket at the time, or a rifle, you'd probably have the spring forward, so that'd be a side lock. And anything with a shotgun with the workings and the hammer and all the sears with inside the frame, you would call that a box lock. So yeah, so here we have again, if I can get that into any sort of view there you go. You got the London Army Bermondsey, you got Kerr's pattern there. Oh gosh, it's so difficult to get this going. Kerr's pattern there, where are you? Come on, zoom in. No, I can't get it. And you got here Kerr's patent there, number 55. So this is the 55th revolver produced, and it's got it again on the cylinder as well. And it's produced in 80 bore, which is 0.38 in modern parlance. And the idea of bore is that you cast a ball in this diameter in lead, and it will take 80 of those balls to make up 1 pound of lead. So that's how you got the bore. So we call that in America, then they call it gauge. So 12 gauge would be 12 balls of the diameter of 0.729, I think, or 28 or something like that, or an inch. Which 12 of those balls would give you 1 pound of lead. And then that's how the English we still carry, well, they carried on with the revolvers at that time. But anyway, going back to this, this was in 80 bore, and this was produced for the Sussex. Oh, there was it. What was it? Number is it? Can't see. It's the Sussex Artillery, 1st Sussex Artillery down in Brighton, I think. And it's there. They were volunteers, and this is revolver number 13. And I think Darrell has in his own private collection number 42, which I think is the earliest known Kerr revolver. But it's called a double action revolver because the originals would cock on the trigger pull, but with the Kerr it actually revolves the cylinder, but it doesn't cock the hammer. There's obviously some change along there. You'll see here as well from later Kerrs, this is the adjustment, the retention nut to keep the cylinder spindle, which comes out the rear unusually. So if you do that, rotate that 180 degrees, you can pull the cylinder spindle out and retain that again, so now you can't pull it out. But later on, Kerr put in a spring-loaded pin, which is actually a far better system, because this is very not very good, but a spring-loaded retention nut, a little lug which would go into a detent in the spindle. Far more positive, far easier to use, because when you pull this out, I think if we could do that actually, if I rotate that, pull this out, take out the cylinder, you can't take out the spindle anymore. So there's obviously some other way of getting the spindle out. I've yet to work this out, and I will find out, and I'll go back with you. But again, here as well, getting back to this revolver, you can see the colour case hardening is still there on the lower, and the upper is a higher carbon steel. So he was able to have a two-part frame with the top strap, and they could heat treat the top half and leave the softer, more tougher part, the lower part of the frame, cheaper as well to produce. A lot quicker, a lot easier to produce it, cheaper materials. For the lower frame, and then color case hardened. That's only the hardening is only mild steel, but it's used bone is used to crush bone, and it migrates into the top of the skill only by a few thousandths of the inch, just to give it a hard wearing surface. Really, the advantage of the hardened thing is just to give it that strength, the hard wearability. But the core of it really is still, it's behaving as mild steel, but with a hardened surface. Again, with the back lock is the same, and the hammer, I'm guessing, is the same. Yeah, it looks like it. I'll have to investigate that a bit better when I get a bit better light. But you can see the colour case hardening here and here. And it looks like up here, and here this black bluing, which is really a bluing. And then we got the rammer is a nicely polished piece of steel there. I'm guessing that might be a, that would be nickel plated, would it? Could be. I'm not too sure. I'll have to investigate that as well. But yes, and this is the cylinder. Let's go back to here. And I hope this can zoom in. I can't. I'm just useless at this stuff. Zooming in on my hand more than the actual cylinder. There are the nipples. You can see these leaf style forms for the ratchet to turn in the cylinder, so the hand would come up and push there. It's not a very positive way of doing it. A straight edge would have been far more positive, but because it pushes up and then it kind of glances, doesn't quite hit positively, I found. These look like original Kerr nipples as well. And it doesn't have a production number. I think the later revolvers had a production number stamped in the front of the cylinder face, and it's not here. But you might catch. Well, this is highly embarrassing. It's happened again. I'm terribly sorry. But getting back to what we're going about, the cylinder there, you can probably see the bores in this cylinder are exceptionally good, and you can see the shield there, which would engage in this recess inside the frame, keeping the powder residue from getting into the spindle and clogging up. And that was one of Kerr's claims, that having the back lock here separate from the action, from the frame, the action further back, that residue would not go in and gum up the workings. Possibly true, but I mean that's possibly true of quite a lot of revolvers, well-designed revolvers. But it does have shields on the back as well to protect any sort of blowback from the percussion caps all flying back. But yeah, very nice revolver. It's you've got this distinct hammer here which comes on the side, so it's very familiar to anybody that at the period, and it would be easy repairable in the field, which is one of his major thought process behind this. So we can push that back, place the cylinder back in there, so it's the shield now, a nice deep shield. I think on the Adams revolvers they're a lot shallower, but a nice deep shield there, and we can just push that through, turn that little nipple on the end there, not nipple but retaining nut, and yeah, so this would operate by cocking the hammer back, revolving the cylinder, single action, bang. Then you do another one. Oh, it hasn't worked quite well there because it's not. There we go. Bang. Off it goes again. So these were used by the Confederate armies in the American Civil War. I think they sold about 7,000-8,000 to them. I think the production run was about 10,000 or 11,000 in total. But come the end of the American Civil War, because Kerr was really, that was their main customer, was the Confederate Army. They lost. Kerr's main customer disappeared, had nothing to really fill the books, and went bust about a year later. Less than that, I think. So, and they would have been mostly in 54 bore, which is 0.444445. I think 0.44, isn't it? In modern terminology. But yeah, a very pretty, lovely bit of history. Well, you can actually see as well if you look at later Kerr revolvers, the pin for the trigger, the pivoting pin, is a lot further back because obviously there was a change in from the double action. But I want to go inside and take this back lock off and see what is different inside. And I'm going to get hold of a later Kerr and we can make a really direct comparison. But yeah. Oh, I thought I'd show you the bore of the pistol, the rifle bore. It's a 5-groove rifling, which is in, I think, an exceptional condition. Let's put that back there. Let's see if we can get some light down in there. Oh yeah, you can see there. Look at that. Look at that bore. It's fabulous. Considering this is 1859, so where are we now? It's 160 years ago. We're in 2019. Yeah. So I'm going to do another little video. Hopefully not be a bit more organised, and I will go into a bit more depth in this revolver, and hopefully build up a little further knowledge for both myself and you, the viewers. So thank you very much.